Welcome, everybody. Today we have a very special guest.
I knew early on that I wanted to make movies.
It's such a difficult industry because there's a lot of luck involved.
I mean, look at American Werewolf in London, look at The Thing, look at The Fly. Look at these films that have really withstood the test of time.
I sculpted this Captain Kirk mask, and they didn't sell particularly well, but then John Carpenter came in, said, can you paint one white and spray paint his hair black?
I was maybe 9 or 10 years old, and it scared the living shit out of me.
You're just racking up these people that you grew up watching. They're in your films. Is that surreal?
There were 35 directors there. If there had been a bomb dropped on that restaurant, never another good horror movie.
Benet's Bloody Bits.
Welcome to Triple B. My name is Jason Benet. Today I'm doing a Terror Vision unboxing, not Vinegar Syndrome. Have the box right here. This is an order I made quite a few months ago. Unless I have true FOMO, I don't usually order right away with Terror Vision. I just kind of let the titles pile up and pick them up. So first one, Rumpelstiltskin, from the director of Leprechaun. This film is better than Leprechaun as far as I'm concerned. I've always enjoyed it. I'm glad that it's getting a 4K Blu-ray release. And it's just kind of one of those hidden gems. Lost in the shuffle of the 90s horror scene. Really enjoyed it. Yes, it didn't get a remake or a sequel like the Leprechaun franchise. This is the better film. This is the one of this lot I'm going to be watching first. One I've never heard of. You know how most horror films, slasher films in particular, have holiday-themed films. How about Arbor Day? Great artwork. Says, when seeds germinate, Elmer exterminates. So I'm all for this. This is another 4K Blu-ray combo. I don't know much about it, which is not necessarily a bad thing. This is truly an obscure film. For me not to have seen it or at least heard of it, that says a lot. Arbor Day. I've been wanting to see this one forever. Revenge of the Radioactive Reporter. This is good just based off the artwork alone, right? 4K, again. Love this artwork. It sells the film. The movie itself usually doesn't live up to the artwork, but that's okay. I know what I'm getting into when I purchase these kind of films. I appreciate these more now than I used to. Dance or Die. Love this. Looks like appears to be another slasher film. As you know, my favorite subgenre of horror is slasher, followed very closely by creature feature. But slashers will always be number one, in particular 80s and 90s. This is where all these films are kind of falling into. The Newly Deads. Not the Newlyweds, but the Newly Deads. So death, do them parts. There's the interior artwork. Last but not least, Dreamstalker on Blu-ray. This was previously put out on disc by Severin Films through their Intervision line. I never picked it, but it was always a curiosity. And so I grabbed this one. I will say, I mean, of course, slipcovers, as we know, are not the most important thing, but it is part of the packaging of what we buy as physical media collectors in this day and age. These are really good. I put them on par with Severin, not quite Vinegar Syndrome. But if you look at all these films, this is what you would see when you went to a ma and pa video store in the 80s or 90s. This is what was on their shelves. These kind of films. Because I grew up in a time where the focus for a lot of horror genre fans were the big directors, Tobe Hooper, George Romero, Wes Craven, Dario Argento, David Cronenberg, Joe Dante, John Landis, and I still appreciate those guys' films. but I tend not to watch them like I did when I was growing up, probably because I've been around this earth for so long that I spent decades focusing on these films. I mean, I still like my B movies, but now when I buy films, it's this. I get more excited by Arbor Day coming out on 4K than, I don't know, The Prowler once again coming out on some sort of physical media release. This is what excites me, and I think what's happened ever since Brad Henderson, you know, he currently works for TerrorVision. He came from Vinegar Syndrome, and I still love what Vinegar Syndrome puts out. They're the only company I have a subscription for. I'm not willing to do one for TerrorVision, but I will say, since he left, these are the kind of films that if he would have stayed, I'm pretty sure they would have been Vinegar Syndrome releases, but now they're TerrorVision. It's these kind of be under the radar. Just, you didn't see these anywhere. Some of these films just haven't been available for 30, 40 years, and that's exciting. So yeah, I will say TerrorVision has stepped up their game. I'm not a fan of a lot of the stuff they release, but these ones I pick up, I watch the trailers, I do research, look at the director, the actors, then I kind of get an idea if it's something I really want to watch and own. And these ones, absolutely. With Rumpelstiltskin, I say, is one of the best horror films of the 90s. Just check it out. It's a fun flick. Released through Paramount Pictures. That's where I believe TerrorVision acquired it from. But yeah, I'm happy with this haul. Not the most titles, but it is what's inside that counts. And thank you guys for watching. Stay scared, and I'll talk to you soon.